Hi, my name is Kyle, and I'm sitting in my dorm room. It's about 1:17 now, and I'm looking at the current Prop 8 votes and where we're standing. So about 70% of the precincts, or number of votes, have been counted, and we're at 52% yes and 48% no on Proposition 8, which is how it's been since I first started checking, around 25%. And in all of this 45% change, there's been little to no change at all in who's yes and who's no. And that's really surprising for me, because we're in California, and it's supposed to be this really progressive state that everyone looks towards to make difference. And I was really excited that we won Obama, and I was excited that everyone around me was celebrating for that. But I couldn't stop and look past that Prop 8 wasn't going to fail. It's passing. The marriage ban, the same-sex marriage ban, is passing. And I couldn't believe it. Here we are, a state that worldwide people look towards because we've made so many great decisions in the past. And now we're writing discrimination into our Constitution. Who does that? Who leads people along this great road and tells them it's okay to be different? Isn't that what we're taught since children? It's okay to be different? And now we're getting told, oh, wait a minute, it's not okay. You are get to be treated as a second-class citizen. It's ridiculous. And the arguments that Prop 8 has used they are ridiculous. They're horrible. The traditional marriage idea, that is not just heterosexist, it's sexist and racist in so many different forms of power, privilege, and oppression are in that it's ridiculous. Let's look back on marriage before they even allowed gay marriage. Let's go in reverse chronological order. They had interracial marriage was added. That's okay though still, because it's between a man and a woman. Wait a minute. If not recently, maybe about 40 years ago, they decided that people of color finally got to be full citizens. Before that, they weren't full citizens. They weren't full people. And even about 100 years ago, before that, they weren't people at all. They were property, objects. Okay, so we've changed an entire population of people to be citizens and that can marry. Interracial marriage is legal. Continuing further back, women. They used to be considered property. That's a good question. When did marriage become about love? Because back in the day, they used to sell daughters to men and get property from it. Some cultures still do that. Some cultures still use women as capital. And here we are, way past that, way past interracial marriage, but we can't allow same-sex marriage. Basically, I'm comparing, I know it's wrong to compare different oppressions, but I'm comparing same-sex couples' rights to interracial and female marriage rights, which apparently have changed so much. And if you think about it, it's been so recent in our lives. People still living today remember before the Civil Rights Act was passed. That is recent. So, let me talk to you more about how Prop 8 passed. I think it's going to pass, that is. I realized it was going to pass around 9:30 on November 4th. Today's November 5th. Once again, like 1:20 a.m. I realized because it's been going downhill for us. At the beginning, we were winning, but then they decided to use fear. And by fear, I mean they used children. They took a really low blow to heterosexual families, saying that your kids are going to come home and say, oh, I want to grow up to be gay because I learned gay marriage is okay. We know now it's not required in our education to teach about marriage, let alone gay marriage. And we know already, at least I hope we know, that kids cannot choose to be gay. You're born that way. It's been predetermined. It's been proven multiple times. Nature, not nurture. But That's not the problem with that, though. The problem is there's so many happy same-sex families, same-sex couples that have been married for 5 months now, living their lives, helping the economy, and not really hurting anyone. For 5 months, nothing bad has happened. And for 5 months that they've been happy, their marriages are going to be instantaneously nullified. It's going to be gone. And that is just wrong. There are so many more social, economic, government, and emotional benefits you receive from marriage than you do from domestic partnerships. It just sounds worse, domestic partnerships. For example, if your partner is being taken in an ambulance to the hospital, if you say you're married, it's instantaneous. You get to be in that ambulance. But if you have to prove you're a domestic partner and get the paperwork, why wait? Why is there that wait time that you have to wait to do that? Why can't you just get in with them? So many other things too. And then what about the children that were adopted by these same-sex couples? You know how hard it is? I myself went through a divorce from a heterosexual family, and that's because they planned it out. They planned to get a divorce. Now, same-sex couples' children are forced to get a divorce, so their child is forced to go through that emotional trauma of having their parents divorced. How does a child even comprehend what it means to live in a family that had married parents that were forced to be divorced? How do they even learn to deal with that? I don't know. There's so many kids that are affected, though. So many. But I just want to talk about what I've done for this cause. For about 5 months now, I've actually been working for No on Prop 8. I started off as just a little volunteer and started working my way up. I haven't got paid at all. I've given money. I've spent money to go across the Bay Bridge 5 days a week, and I paid money for gas because I had to drive an hour every day to do volunteer work, because I believed in this cause so firmly that I spent my entire summer, a time when kids, get free time, to help out this cause. I'm now in college, and I have an internship with No on Prop 8, and that is really difficult. Going through college is hard enough already, but now, sacrificing my life for this, which I strongly believe in, has made it so much more difficult. And now, it's almost futile, wasted, as we can see with the election. I just think it's horrible. I spent this much time wasted. And there are so many people that actually have done so much more than me. So much more. And there are people who did less but still did so much. And now it's gone. It's gone. We've wasted so much time on fighting for equality for so many different... Anybody who's ever wanted or has gotten or will ever be married, that's what this is about. This is saying that we can take away rights from anyone we want because it's okay. Isn't it illegal? Retroactive law? Take away rights that have already been given? I don't know. But I want to say thank you, California, for doing this. And thank you, Propaganda 8. You have made your discrimination well known. And I hope that if you voted yes on Prop 8, that you never meet me.